Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports, and some breaking news as Kyle SINCKLER has been cleared to play in the third test between the Springboks and the British and Irish Lions after a lengthy citing commissioner eventually sort of found him not guilty of the alleged bite and the foul play during his disciplinary hearing today. Before we sort of go through the statement and what sort of transpired and stuff like that, please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel. We'll be live tonight. We're going to be discussing this as well as the two different teams, both British and Irish Lions, as well as the Springboks naming their lineups for this weekend. Quite a lot of interesting things to get into this week for the weekend, so make sure you come and hang out with us live on the channel. You can get some questions to the comments, and we can sort of talk about and start sort of previewing exactly what we can come to expect for the weekend. But in terms of Kyle SINCKLER, so we saw on Sunday night at about 7 o'clock, they released the official sort of citing commission sort of report about in terms of who will be cited itself. And there were lots of sort of queries about was Cheslin Colby going to be cited? Was Faf de Klerk going to be cited? Was Mario Toji going to be cited for kneeling on Evan de Lindy's throat? Was Stuart Hogg going to be cited for biting, stuff like that? And after all the sort of social media rumors, a lot of videos going around and on Sunday, a lot of photos surfacing of certain incidents, none of those incidents were actually cleared. Were checked. And were going to be investigated. And the only incident which arose was something that none of us actually saw, which is the fact that Kyle SINCKLER was going to be cited for potential biting on Franco Moster during the 64th minute of the game. So we took us all quite by surprise. And the more you sort of assess the video stuff like that, you don't really see much. You kind of just see a ruck happening, and then you see Franco Moster as he's leaving, sort of checking his arm. I think the implication is that he was checking for potential bite marks on his arm itself. And as a result, Kyle SINCKLER was to sit in front of an independent disciplinary panel this morning today. And when Warren Gatland had his press conference at about 1:30, he said that he was still in the process, which had gotten underway at 9 o'clock. So after 4, 5, 6 hour potential sort of hearing, they have then come out and said the following. This is a statement from World Rugby itself. Having reviewed all the evidence, the committee deemed that on the balance of probabilities, it could not be satisfied that the player committed an act of foul play. On that basis, the committee dismissed the citing, and the player is free to play again immediately. So absolutely no sanctions whatsoever, because Kyle SINCKLER was actually named into the British and Irish Lions starting lineup. But a lot of people saying that how can he be named when he's being cited? Well, the thinking there was that he was going to be named, and he vehemently denied it. Warren Gatland came out and said that he doesn't think, he believes he didn't do anything, and that he denies any sort of part in this, and he was quite confident that therefore the hearing would go well. And as a result, the British and Irish Lions took the chance, and they did include him in the starting lineup, and nothing came of it. And I think it's not really a surprise anything came of it, because if you look at the video and stuff like that, it was very difficult to try and sort of see exactly what happened, exactly when it happened, how it happened, who it happened to, and stuff like that. And what was quite strange, though, is other incidents, the Stuart Hogg biting incident, where he actually had to come out and release a statement because of all the video surfacing on social media, and yet that wasn't investigated. Same as the Mario Toji on Damon de Lindy's neck. That wasn't investigated. But something that nobody sort of picked up, or was even, picked up in the game, it wasn't like the Billy LaRue incident where he was complaining to the referee saying that he was bitten. This was a bit of a nothing event, and that's why it took us all by surprise. So quite a strange situation where there were quite a lot of incidents that people wanted to have looked at, and yet those didn't receive any attention. And then something that nobody noticed and that nobody even knew was happening did actually get picked up. But we can sort of debate this until the cows come home. But the fact of the matter is that they only picked up one thing in the citing commission, and the whole thing is, in order for something to be cited, it has to be something that would regularly be deemed a red card. You can't cite somebody for a yellow card offense. It has to be a red card defense. So we're looking at foul play mostly, which are sort of your shoulder to head incidents, taking up somebody out in the air, biting, those kind of incidents, eye gouging, those sort of things we've seen in the past. Tip tackles or spear tackles or no arms challenges and stuff like that. Those are usually sort of where your citing commissioners come in. Or even sort of like, I suppose, in the incident between Toji and Damon de Lindy, a case could be made for that to be a red card incident. But they reviewed all the footage, and the only thing that they found worthy of investigating was the Kyle SINCKLER incident, as kind of expected given the lack of evidence or anything like that. He has been cleared because he was facing up to a 6-month ban with some of the stories that were coming out this morning. But nothing will happen to Kyle SINCKLER. He is free, and he will play this weekend, where he will feature off the bench for the men in red. But we can discuss this a little bit later. But that is the current news at the moment. There's been no comment about what's going to be happening with Rassie Erasmus's disciplinary hearing, and no comment or anything from the British and Irish Lions over the decision about Carl Sinclair. So we'll discuss anything tonight if that then does serve us before we go live. 9 o'clock South African Standard Time. Come and hang out. Smash like on the video right now. Subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on so that you do get a notification whenever we do go live. We go live most days. We try and do 2 or 3 live sort of sessions every sort of week, just in general terms of general news sessions. And then we've also got our watch-alongs as well as our player rating shows and stuff like that. So hope to see you guys all there. My name is Steven. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll chat to you soon.